You can do everything right on paper. Market selected, equipment staged, backlog projected, and still watch a new construction branch stall without ever blowing up. It just goes quiet. And by the time anyone wants to talk about it, the damage is already done. We've watched this happen more times than we can count. New locations don't usually fail in dramatic fashion. They fail slowly. Revenue plateaus. Jobs get harder to staff. Clients start to feel the inconsistency. Everyone has a theory. Labor shortages, bad timing. But the real issue almost always sits in one chair: the person running the location. Most construction companies approach a new branch like they're filling another senior technical role. Find the best superintendent, the strongest PM, the most loyal internal transfer. On paper, it makes sense. In reality, that's how expansions stall. A new branch doesn't need a caretaker. It needs an operator. Someone who treats day one like ownership, not an assignment. Because when you open a new construction hub, there's no brand gravity yet. No established subs who bend over backward. No deep bench to lean on. Processes are half-built at best. Corporate support exists, but it's distant and delayed. That environment exposes the difference between technicians and operators very quickly. A real operator creates structure while the work is happening. They don't wait for direction. They don't ask permission to solve local problems. They build momentum from zero. A technician, even a great one, waits for clarity. They want the playbook finished before they move. And in a new market, that hesitation costs months you never get back. When companies miss that distinction, they don't hire for growth. They hire for maintenance. And maintenance doesn't build markets. In construction especially, the entire success of a new branch lives and dies on one person. Not the best builder, not the safest pair of hands. The person who owns the outcome. That person writes the playbook instead of following one. Here's where hiring efforts usually break down. Entrepreneurial construction operators don't behave like normal candidates. They're not sitting on job boards. They're not blasting resumes. Most aren't looking at all. They care about autonomy more than titles. They care about control over outcomes more than org charts. A lot of them already run something on the side: small GC work, specialty scopes, trusted client relationships. They already think like owners, even if they don't yet have equity. They live in a different labor market, and most corporate hiring systems never touch it. When HR filters for years of management experience, internal promotions, or perfectly linear resumes, they screen out the exact people who could actually build a market. What's left looks safe, polished, and predictable, and predictability is the enemy of expansion. We see companies try to fix this with compensation. Bigger base, bigger bonus, bigger promises. It rarely works. Pay alone doesn't win entrepreneurial operators. You can keep raising salary bands and still lose the right person if the role feels boxed in. If decisions are centralized, if every risk has to be escalated, if local leadership is mostly symbolic. On the flip side, we've seen companies attract exceptional operators without overspending by offering something much harder to quantify: real authority, ownership of local outcomes, a visible path to upside that actually connects effort to reward, like profit share, location-based performance, real participation in growth. These people don't want to clock in, they want to build something. If the role feels corporate and constrained, you'll attract compliance, not creation. And when the wrong person runs a new branch, it doesn't implode, it erodes. They avoid local risk instead of leaning into opportunity. Strong candidates don't want to follow them, so recruiting gets harder, not easier. Process starts to matter more than progress. By the time leadership realizes something's wrong, the market already has an opinion. Clients have adjusted expectations. Reputations calcify quickly in construction. Replacing that leader later rarely fixes it. The damage is already baked in, so before opening a new location, the most important question isn't who your best superintendent is, or who's been loyal the longest. It's this: who would run this like it was theirs even before it is? That person is harder to find, slower to recruit, sometimes uncomfortable for traditional systems to evaluate. But without them, expansion isn't growth. It's just a slow, expensive stall, and construction markets don't offer many second chances.